Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up 0.86%. So on a day like today, you would think that Nvidia must be down at least 2 to 4%. And that is not the case. Nvidia stock is up on the day 0.86%. And we got big names like Microsoft and Apple getting destroyed today. And it was down close to 3%. Now that is the biggest concern for this market, guys. Gapping up and just going straight up. No pullback, nothing. Imagine if there is a pullback on Nvidia stock, let's just say $50 to $100 in just 2-3 sessions. What's going to happen with Nasdaq 100? You're going to see a significant drop. Who's holding up the market? It's definitely not Microsoft and Apple anymore. This is the only stock, and this is the most dangerous stock out there in this market right now. And a lot of people, when you talk about Nvidia stock possibly getting a correction and a pullback, they get really mad and they talk about, well, Nvidia is the greatest company on earth and it's just gonna go up. I'm going to buy 1,300 calls on Nvidia stock. Well, trust me when I say this, and I've been doing this for 20 plus years. You can get bullish on Nvidia. The trend is up. I'm not denying that. But think about this. You're buying Nvidia right here. This could be the top. I'm not calling this a top, but this could be the top, and you're buying right at the top. Do you see a pullback where you can actually get a chance to buy Nvidia stock? No. You're just getting FOMO and buying Nvidia stock over $850 a share, which is insane. Now that is why this stock is the biggest danger here in this market. Any pullback you see, imagine this thing comes back to 500. What's going to happen to the market, guys? Especially Nasdaq 100. So, when you look at the market, you cannot just look at one thing. Hey, I'm bullish and market just going up. Trust me when I say this. I'm the biggest bull here in this market when it comes to buying the dip. Always buying the dip, but never pumping anything that is up significantly like Nvidia stock right now. So just be careful if you're buying this, because who knows what can happen tomorrow, guys. Anything can happen. So on Nvidia stock, going into tomorrow's session, and look at this, we actually got a hammer candle on Nvidia stock, which is insane. Even with this sell-off, Nvidia stock went back up and holding over 840, came under 840, went right back up with a hammer candle at the end, and now trading at almost 860. As a matter of fact, over 860. So going into tomorrow's session, there will be resistance right here around 864. And that's how far this Bollinger Band expanded, and then all the way up to 876.95 up to even 900. To the downside, like I said, if there is a pullback, at least 3 to 5%, this thing can dump easily down to 800. And now we got this gap. So below 840, watch out for this gap, 823. And I thought that was going to happen today, right here. But Nvidia stock again, just before closing, went back up and now holding over 840. But I think very soon you're going to see Nvidia coming down and closing this gap, 823 right here. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing you gotta go through, and you get all that information totally free. And you can always ask me any questions you have right here on X. And here's some fantastic plays, and I'm not even sharing all the plays, just this one and a couple more right here. Triple Q, and you can see the timing here, guys. That was Friday, 12:29 p.m. Got into puts 434, and what happened today? 433. When in the money, over the money, still holding, and that is a massive winner right here on Triple Q, getting in at the top. And if you time it, It's right around 4:45 where I got in, 12:29 p.m. Now that's just one play. And here's two more plays right here, and you can see gold recently flying, guys. And I actually bought that dip on gold before, and you can see added more shares, and today it was flying, sold for a nice profit, and still holding some runners. And then we got this FedEx, but 100 shares back in 02/13/2024, 2:18 p.m., and it was trading at 236 and now trading over 245. I think I sold at 247 and some change. That was really nice on FedEx as well. And that is why, if you guys are really serious about trading and you want to learn and you want to get all these trade ideas, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon, guys. On Apple, stock is down 2.84%, so waterfall style sell-off here on Apple stock with high volume today. But guess what? It's getting really oversold right now. RSI down to 23 on Apple stock. And soon as I saw Apple today around 170, guess what? I bought some more Apple today, guys. Now, we did talk about this head and shoulder pattern on Apple. Also, I did mention before that this could be a double top. And if this is going to play out, you're going to see a move easily down to 166. And look at this, guys. As we speak, it was almost there today, 169.62. So here on Apple, especially if you're going long, fantastic opportunity to go long on Apple stock. But you gotta hold. You cannot flip it next day. This is on a strong downtrend right now. So going into tomorrow's session, strong support to watch, 170, 166. Anything above 170, you're going to see a move, possibly after this gap, just under 174. And soon as Apple can clear that, more upside all the way up to 177.38 to close this gap on top. And then we can talk about more upside on Apple, and this thing can break out of this downtrend also. On Meta, it's down 1.60%. So Meta here, you can see again into closing. Yes, it came under 490, came down to 487.89, but into closing holding 490 breakout, which is bullish at least in the short term unless something breaks tomorrow. So going into tomorrow's session here on Meta, as long as Meta can stay above 490, you're going to see a move up to 496.42 to close this gap on top, and possibly going back up to 500 and then 504.42. To the downside, below 490, watch out for the support down here. A strong support, 13-day moving average, 484.69. Also, we do have support at 478.28, rising 20-day moving average, and then this gap right down here, just below 470 on Meta. On Amazon, stock is down almost 2% and getting down to the critical support 173 and getting a bounce and now trading at 174. So going into tomorrow's session, watch out here on Amazon. Your line in the sand, 173. That gives up easily. You're going to see Amazon coming down and filling this gap right here at 170.23. To the upside, as long as Amazon can hold right here, 173, watch out for a move back up to rising 5-day moving average, 176, and then this gap on top, 177.49, all the way up to 180. On Google, stock is down only 0.31%, so kind of a flat day here on Google, came all the way down to 131.55, and because how oversold this stock is right now, after that big sell-off, went back up and now trading close to 134. So here on Google, guys, your line in the sand, 130, and then this gap, 127.74. To the upside, Google can actually clear and hold 135, then watch out for a move all the way up to this gap, just under 138, and then Google can possibly run up to even 140. Now, Google here, a great opportunity. Same thing goes for Tesla and then Apple. Now, a lot of people, when I say great opportunity, it does not mean that you buy Google stock here and then, next day you want to sell it. No, I'm not talking about that, guys. You guys saw those puts I got on triple Qs. How many months out? Plenty of time, right? And if you're buying something today and you're selling tomorrow, that is actually a day trade. And I'm not talking about a day trade on Google stock or on Apple, even on Tesla. You gotta hold. And that is an opportunity to buy and hold a little bit longer, think outside the box right here with all these names like Google, Tesla, and also now Apple. On Tesla, stock is down 4% almost for the day, and if you look at my screen, came all the way under 180 down to 177.57, but at the end, just before closing, went back up and now holding 180 as a support into closing. So that's gonna be your line in the sand here on Tesla going into tomorrow's session, 180, and below that 175 all the way down to that gap 162. Now to the upside, as long as Tesla can hold right here at 180, watch out for a move up to this gap 186.72, and then above that you're going to see Tesla going up to even 194 and possibly can retest bottom of this bear flag. So watch out. I mean, do not just count Tesla out just because this thing actually breaking down from this bear flag. Do not go and short Tesla right here at 180. This one also getting oversold, and I would not short Tesla for any reason here in this market. Yes, things can go down even more, but knowing that it's not overbought, I mean, this thing just on a big downtrend for the last few months, why would I go and short Tesla? There is so many other things that are overbought here in this market. You can definitely go into something else and short than Tesla here at 180, guys. On AMD stock, it's absolutely flat on the day. Now, what I said last night in my video that I'm expecting AMD early as tomorrow morning, which is today, to come down here and close this gap at 202, possibly can come down to 200, and that's gonna be a strong support, and we could see a bounce off of that level. And guess what? This is exactly what we got. Came slightly under 200, filling this gap, and then immediately we saw a big bounce, and now trading at 205 at the closing. So going into tomorrow's session, strong support at 200. Below that, rising 5-day moving average right here, this blue line, 196.44, and then this gap 193 all the way down to 184. But as long as AMD can hold right here above 200, we could see continuation all the way up to 215 on AMD. On Microsoft is down 2.96%, so massive dump off on Microsoft. Also, I did talk about Microsoft coming down below 410 and filling this gap down here at 402. And what we got today, guys? All the way down to 400, and then we saw a bit of a bounce and now trading close to 403 at the closing. So going into tomorrow's session here on Microsoft, strong support at 400, and just below that 50-day moving average 396.79, 394, and then this gap 390. As long as Microsoft can actually hold right here around 400, then watch out for a move all the way back up to 410, and once we get that breakout over 410, then we can talk about more upside on Microsoft. One more thing I want to point out, and do not ignore this, massive bearish engulfing candle we got today with some high volume selling. So yes, we could see some follow through, and if that happens tomorrow, watch out, there might be more dump off on Microsoft. So Netflix also going down 2.81% all the way down to 592, holding above rising 13-day moving average right here, and you can see 593.87 and into closing, just closing below 600. So support here 593.87, or I would say 594, and then 588. That's gonna be your line in the sand going into tomorrow on Netflix. And soon as we get that breakout over 600, watch out for the next stop 604, and then this gap right up here at 615.08. Now Netflix cannot hold 588, then watch out, there might be more dump off all the way down to rising 20-day moving average, and that is sitting at 582, and below that we got this massive gap and then another one down here. And we can talk about these gaps also getting filled on Netflix. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.